Go.
All right. Good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, head trader at TradeView Markets. It is, what day is it? It's Tuesday. It's December 21st. Okay, we're winding down. I believe there's 6 or 7 more days. I started Monday, so maybe 8 days left. Wait a second. Yeah, 8 days left. And we'll see how that goes. First of all, hold on a second. It's Wednesday. You know what I mean? So it's Wednesday. And the bottom focus is today is that, you know what I mean? There's very few days left. And, you know, although when I signed into TradeGATEHub here, it was more, today was actually the opposite. It looks to be more indices driven, but, you know, I was trading lightly. There were a lot of reasons for a bounce, not a bounce. It's one of these days where Kramer actually called for it, always keeping in mind that there was a move coming. You know what? This is the point that I was taking when I try to take sentiment on younger traders, but I try to take overall moves and macro situations from my peers. So, and I'll give Rev Shark a heads up here, what he said yesterday. Pardon me. I'll say this a couple of months ago. This is the toughest trading, in 25 years, but also the sentiment was as negative as I've seen it even before, we were at previous lows. So Kramer. Yeah, this is what he called. And I posted this yesterday. This was important. I'll get into my routine in a second. The chart suggesting that Christmas is not going to be canceled. And he says, no, it seems impossible per last night's Mad Money. Larry Williams also did believe we're going to have a Christmas rally starting Thursday. Today's Wednesday. They never give you a perfect setup. Did this means we were guaranteed the rally? No. But signs were there where even people like me, certainly I'm in a lot in cash, but there was really no reason to flinch. Rotation kind of said it. So, Harpy, go through yesterday's recap. Okay, there was our indicator. We came in oversold, obviously. Credit default swap still a non-issue. Let's get rocking here. I'm back in it. All right. More time is spent in legalizing sports gambling. Listen to this. This headline was something. The future's still on. Problem gambling is on the rise against young men. But like I said, they don't have what here. We're risk managers with an edge. Send them in here. Free password to TGH if they actually want to come in here and show a positive ROI and be able to sleep well. Top 10 surprises. I'm going to go through some macro things or some basic things right here. Kramer said FedEx now is scorching after hours. Larry Williams did tell us uncertain, maybe in light of FedEx big cap stocks is a day early. Pardon me. Okay. All right. DLO, reason why Tesla might bounce. It's only up a couple of dollars, but that was cause for a little floor in the market with some clearer picture what's going on with Tesla. Upgrades, downgrades. There's a chart on Tesla MUs tonight, of course. Where do we go? Etsy jumps and kept going, caught the shorts. Those are our focus. This is my news screen where I get my news from. So, and I try to relay that any relevant news. I just gave you a picture of what I'm doing. Or, you know what I mean? When you talk to somebody that you're close to on the phone or some never met them, you want to see what they look like, and it makes it more personal. That makes it personal. CPRX, one of our better positions. And why? Because a lot of these stocks are working right now. CPRX. Why shouldn't it work? They tried to do the shakeout to new high. Also stocks that I've been pouncing on. RNA, a stock that's had great action, great earnings. I said that was a buy too. We bought it. ALT, posted it yesterday, or I'll go back on my TradeGATEHub. I said I really like this ALT. We got a shakeout yesterday from other drug news. They took it under 10. They took it up to 1440 today. Another one, VXTX, Viking Therapeutics. A stock like this in the old days, I'd be short. Right here, it held the open. It actually held positive. Once it broke out the previous high, it's right there. These stocks are working. The same with MDGL, another one. The same with, that keeps going. The same one with Marna, the dip in the rip. That's also going higher on the flag. So some of these bios are acting pretty well. As a matter of fact, I have a pretty large position in Leibu today. I thought I bought it late, but I didn't. I started going into label even right here, 694, 698 at 717. I did sell some stocks today. Oh, EDU, another stock that's going higher every single day. Relative strength. Nike showed relative strength. They did the dip and the rip to Nike. Once again, once it breaks the open of 117, futures breaking higher. 387. Joba called for 3,900 and change, right? Here's our chart on the SPYs. Right here, coming to a gap. As coach would say, once it goes through the gap, I wouldn't be surprised if they go to 390. Right now, they're 387. There's not much juice left on the punch bowl. In fact, if you think the gap is going to, chart on the Qs, TLT is not really cooperating that nicely. You know what I mean? So it's not really a good bounce in the TLTs. The dollar, crude, good call for coach on crude. Pins, like I came in this long, did a lot of selling today in pins. Home builders still acting well. Still acting well, home builders, no matter what it is. Baba acting well, AMAT, right there. Micron comes out with earnings. So the bottom is, if you're playing the relative strength and not even caring about this minutia of going up or down, it was RNA, best of breed, acting well. Viking Therapeutics right there, taking all highs. MDGL, another one. Just have to watch. If you want to take money out of the market, yeah, Amazon might have been a bit, might have been oversold, and we bought it a little bit. By no means a big position, but yeah, I get it. It's a crowded thought. What else is going up nicely in here? Do we have ExxonMobil? All right, ALT, CPRX, Chewy, Harvey, nothing else. Etsy on the upgrade. Crocs went with Mike. I'll share my screen right now. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, here we are. Here's on the top left, all stocks breaking high. CPRX just went by. It looks like it's a little too fast, but I'm going to slow it down. Here's my screen here. Apple. Let me actually share my charts as well if I can put this here. Okay, there's our chart on Apple. All right, a 2-bit. Yes, on this huge move down, when it did the capitulatory volume, then it seemed like it was even going to go lower. So they took it to that previous capitulatory volume at 134. It's 136. Trades over for me on a 2-day rally from 130 to 136. A lot of overhead supply. Yes, it is good for the market short term. It's not for me. ON, best of breed, always bouncing up to 200. They always does it. Baba, JD, what's going good now? XBI, Myrna, Lennar, DHI also acting well. RCL, Uber, Lithium, nothing. EOG, Goldman Sachs, the big daddy, was Bank of America capitulated a little bit, now curling up above there. Maybe a buy on a dip, I'm not quite sure. Right here are all the previous stocks I mentioned. Wayfair, Dick's Sporting Goods stores went up with Nike. Right before I came on the proverbial air, I just sold some PVH. Now it's, of course, higher. I kept buying PVH. Matter of fact, I sold some. I shorted some on the open. 70. Covered it at 69.30. Then I'm like, all right. Then I started buying some at the Gap. Phillips Van Heusen, by the way. And I'm also in this VFC. And I did sell some VSC on the top this morning at 26.11. And I'm in it from 27, I believe. And I'm also, listen, a lot of insider buying. It's Calvin Klein. I think it's going to pull us. I'm not married to it. I actually happened to pick the worst one. The one that I should have been buying was the one that I previously mentioned. Was Phillips Van Heusen. Above the 200-day, good volume. I like it. So I sold some on the air. I sold some before I came on at 69.20. It's 69.40. It's above the open. Phillips Van Heusen, I'd like to be over the gap right here at that 71.70, that maybe the 8-day curls up. It's not a barn burner. It's not acting very well. As a matter of fact, the stock opened at 70 and the futures, well, just compare it to the futures. The stock opened at 70 and the futures are way higher than they were when they were at the open. And Phillips Van Heusen is way lower. So that's relative weakness at the moment. That's why I don't have that big of a position at the moment. All right, what stocks are breaking higher right here? Kellogg. Here, the General Mills. I said it yesterday that I put in a bid to buy it because they flushed it out on a 1-day rotation. General Mills, Campbell Soup was holding up as well, but General Mills yesterday, I saw what they did. That 1-day wonder to the 50-day, the short-term intermediate thing when the rotation is proper with recession and inflation, from 82.5 to 85.5 trades over. I might actually look to short it if rotation is somewhat favorable towards, shorting a food stock, if you will. Here are the rest of them: Foot Locker, Macy's, Nike, Futures, UVXY, VIX now. Where's the VIX? VIX going, VIX now breaking a low. Something was up. Let's go to my other page here. If I get any other questions, that's my page. That's what I do. Pardon. I did like alt. Only China sweepers, I said last night, or 23 hours ago, if you see, were Baidu and JD. So let's take a look what these guys are doing today. I mean, there are some Chinese stocks that are up. JD up nicely, was up nicely, what, $1.30. Go up to the top here. Baidu up 279. I said that was a nice move off the 50-day too. You know what? I like it too. I like Baidu. I even like it long term. It bounced the way it should. It's right in the channel. I need confirmation. Yes, I'm in it, or just a little bit. One of the few China names I'm in, but they had sweepers yesterday, so I should have had more confirmation or a little bit more gusto. What's going on? Let's look at the big guys are doing here. Home Twitter. Okay. Now, I want to see when a move like this, I don't want to see short-term calls go off for people to cover to hedge. I want to see people backing it up like, like going to, February, March, or April, you know what I mean? Really pushing it past the pass line, Boeing calls. All right. Shack bearish, Blink bullish, SPY, Index bullish, nothing. Philly SMH having calls back above the 100-day. SMH, that coaches trade with MU coming. He loves the SMHs. Good SMH trader, the coach. Where's the SMH? All right. Back above the 50 and the 100-day SMH. Listen, 5 days down on volume, 2 days up, barely, you know what I mean, with no volume, yet to be determined. I'd rather trade Micron. I can make just as much money with Micron and trading the semis that move at a group after the earnings than I can taking a chance into the earnings. Get my picture. TLT. What are they doing with the TLT? That's interesting. 61,000 now traded January TLT calls or puts. They're hitting the bid on the puts. They're hitting the bid on the calls. And they're hitting. So let me look at the TLT here. They're crossing that. Get the chart on the TLT. Not favorable for the market at the moment, but there's a chart on the TLT. Maybe this holds the 50-day as well. Certainly, it should be going higher as the market's going higher, but it's not. UUP. Huh. We'll have to watch the TLT against the SPYs. TLT goes down, SPYs go down. TLT, SPY. Well, you know what? I don't know. The futures are coming in a touch here. We'll see. We'll monitor this with the TLTs. I don't really know what that cross was for. Okay, keep going. CPRX. What are the wise guys doing now again? TLT bearish, Delta bullish. BCRX calls flying. BCRX. Keep an interest in this thing. BCRX Pharmaceuticals. This is the chart. All right, I get it. It's tend to more binary, more jerky like it moves, and I would like. It's really not that smooth, but the calls are going off. I'll monitor it. Here's the wave theory, Joba, if you're in there. Okay. Let me get back to my Twitter feed because people take profits as at 11:20 a.m. Block sell VXT with Viking Therapeutics. Man's in the right thing. Mentioned it already. I sold it yesterday a little bit. VXTX. That's all you need. VX. Viking. There's the chart. There's the daily. There's the weekly. Not too late. It really isn't. Stock's got it in it. Know why it's up. You know what I mean? Just don't trade the number. VXTX, like it. Still, let's see if the XBI is hanging in. They go into these little bios. Rose above the 50-day. We love the 50-day. Don't we, got Melly? Sally's Beauty Supply. This took a lot of option action too, Sally's Beauty Supply. It's not a barn burner. Goes with Ulta. Goes with Elf Beauty Supply. Look at the Elfer. Here's Ulta. Sally's Beauty Supply actually had option volume and a nice move too. I'll keep that in there. Doesn't have a lot, that much. I'll keep an eye on that. Sally's. I like some option activity. Bids pulled. Bears get a bit of pace now. My man. Okay. TME, we mentioned. Yeah, TME. We also brought that up in the room before. Let me see. Bears have some traction now. Screw you. Sally's Beauty Supply. What's coming in? You know, so if I look here and it says Bears has some traction now, my screen I go to, besides TradeGATEHub, is this stock scanner. Everybody knows I use this. So what's moving down now? If the Bears are actually getting to be active, just go to time. So D-Dog's going down, Wayfair's pulling back a little, TJX, Bristol Myers, Roblox, Netflix, some techs. Marna pulling back a little bit. All right, big deal. XBI not pulling back. All right, so actually, when the market's pulling back, what's that here? What's at new high? So if the market's pulling back, what's at the high? Conagra Foods, ATI makes metals for Boeing. Nothing. CNX, Procter and Gamble. All right, not really what we want to see. Tal's been in horses we know. Monster Beverage, CPRX, of course. Been mentioning it all week or 2 weeks now. Breakout range, breakout day, up high in relative volume. What's moving? You know what's moving active? What's active now? Tesla, of course. Apple, PayPal. What's pulling back? Nothing's really pulling back that night. Tesla's still positive. Let's look at the most important one. Up high in relative volume. SINT, the one of the day. It's up 77%, 90% volume. So let's go here. What's SINT? Okay. It's a flag here. Opened at 7. So it doubled on 1,000% volume. Hit the 50-day, which everybody knows is intermediate. I don't really like it that much. Why? Because aside from Insanity, which was a meme stock, I'll have to look at the news. It has a move in it, but it hasn't had a big move like it's a one-day wonder. So maybe it goes over the 50-day. So one day it went to the 50-day, it's not, you know what I mean? We'll monitor it, I wouldn't, I'll monitor it. That's the best I could do for that thing. SINT. So bottom line is, it's up 74% on 1,000% volume. So it should be on the list regardless. Nike, of course, FedEx, so two real. SIX I mentioned had takeover activists, Golden Cross, and that's it. So let's go here. I'll sign off in a touch. Wise guys doing anything else? Everybody should be on my Twitter feed because you can basically get all this information sans driven bullish. It starts with this right here. Quality and like my whole mantra of TradeGATEHub. This is who I follow. I would follow the 59 people, quality over quantity. Follow these guys. You know what? Ideas, if you don't like, if you see that I follow Danny Rosenblum and you're not really happy with him, then look who else you may follow. I mean, winners breed winners. Adam Feurenstein, no surprise. Doughboy. You know what I mean? So I know Doughboy. I actually blocked him. I blocked Pharma D too. For good reason. I'll get into another time. Maybe that will be in my trading tales, but you get the picture, guys. All right. So any questions? We'll leave it at that. I'm going to be watching that TLT trade is the TradeView market site. We'll leave it there. Until then, have a plan, trade well, and we'll see you after lunch, guys. Cheers.